So as requested from a few folks, I'm starting to collect sort of notes from each one of these little sessions and recommended best practices for each one. We've come to the conclusion that case studies, vignettes, guest speakers, and now lectures, we can do a couple of different ways. One is have pre-recorded videos. With those videos, we can archive them either on YouTube channels, SharePoint sites, or local shared drives, and then embed a hyperlink into the Blackboard course. Number two, we can embed the actual video itself into the Blackboard course. Is that you, Mr. Hagan? Okay.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Welcome. Is that you, Mr. Hagan?
I'm not hearing Captain Wright.
All right, let me get closer to the microphone.
On the phone?
Can you hear me now? I'm closer to the phone, or the microphone at least.
Say again?
Can you hear me now? How about now? Any better?
That's a little better. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Sounds like you're blowing in the wind.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of noise coming out of the ventilation system today for some reason.
Okay. Well, I guess if you just want to keep yours on mute, if that's even possible.
Okay.
Thank you. So as a brief recap, the things that we've come to a conclusion on is for case studies, vignettes, guest speakers, and lectures, we can do either pre-recorded videos or we can do live videos. So pre-recorded videos we can archive in different locations. It doesn't have to be in Blackboard, but we can embed the hyperlink inside of Blackboard. So if we put them in YouTube or a SharePoint or a local shared drive, you can still access them through Blackboard, but only put a hyperlink to wherever that other external location is. The second option there is that we do have or some of those other systems that'll play the video inside the Blackboard learning management system. The second option is to share a video via DCO in the class session itself. So we can either play a previously recorded video or we can play it live. And we talked about a variety of different ways that we can do evaluations. Again, that's for the 4 different kinds of, we'll say, categories of lessons that we have for case studies, vignettes, guest speakers, and lectures. The second thing that we talk about were injects. And how to break them up into groups. We all came to the conclusion that DCO and Blackboard, again, were most likely going to be the effective way of breaking down those small groups in smaller groups than about 5 people. Different aspects of these injects. In the Blackboard, the challenge would be breaking folks out into groups. So we wouldn't be able to do it in a live. Which we walk through some of the lessons learned on how to review whether students participated or did not participate. Up until now, today's session is a little bit file share. I think you should be able to click on any one of those and be able you guys need a chat box, sorry. And I'm going to get rid of this little share. Scroll back and forth. Mr. Hagan was saying that's how you're going to dance. in DCO. So today's discussion is something a little bit more difficult than previous discussions. Today's discussion is for today is a project that students work scenario. So this economic analysis, we want students to be able to same conclusions, the same calculations, to Mr. Hagan, Mr. McGinley, is what do you think about what would be the most strong question there? One, what's the most effective way? Mr. McGinley or anybody that has any sort of inputs. Right now you're looking for exact steps that they
Students a process. And how do you do it now in the class?
in the same database, and the teacher will once they all come to the same conclusion, I can't remember the name of the gentleman, Mr. Martin. Process, inputting information. The correct option or incorrect options. Also evaluates them, but it also teaches.
As you're speaking, I guess.
In previous meetings with Mr. Martin, developers here at Keesler Air Force Base will developers open up little blocks inside
It sounds like you're speaking and it's There's a lot of different ways to do it. Captivate's a good way to do it. I mean, if you're showing pictures. information as it goes along. The guy that was responsible for training tasks to videos that the students could watch. They could stop, pause, back up. Simulation there, a computer program set up to where they were doing now. So it was all carried out autonomously. I'm talking, less than 15 minutes.
How would you take one of those external systems, videos,
Curriculum item and mash up a YouTube video. Again, I'm for your
so would be inputting the information. It's just a
reading, then a video, some sort of an activity that
Mr. Martin, let's see here. There we go. Okay, now that he's on, we spoke with that talked to us about that capability. Dave Carley, okay. Record it somewhere and then have a hyperlink.
Collection and just use it directly from there. You can do the same thing. Today. The only problem we typically will presenting that video through Blackboard. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Captivate in terms of the way it presents, I do not have them in mind. I think we've got Captivate products. Well, you know what? Captivate to use for
Okay.
it's just linking it to it there. That content from your course.
I'm just going to cover up the chat box for a second. Files, some of them so in a live setting, we'd still have to bring them through the process of inputting those exact same steps. That specific version of the video until you update it. Different way to go about the same process. So I guess this, or make very small little snippet videos that would be played in the video and watching somebody else go versatile is having snippet record is having the overall process
You have to have a person there teaching it. I mean, again, there's the you teach the same thing over and over again. To the faculty. Like I said, when you're teaching online, stop sharing what you got there. I had loaded in my
Does captivate
but
basically is talking through certain things? Captivate product there is just a slide developers here. We're talking about something so as opposed to just a raw recording with narration, it's actually
one set of feedback. If you get it wrong, gives you a different set of feedback.
other than just small. Very first step of using the database and to walk them through the process.
It complicates the form if they only have
Evaluations. I know or if they input the wrong answer, it will actually give them an overall. Similar to that it only gives you a certain margin of error before you goes in Blackboard. Do you have examples from every student that you walk through?
answers, that sort of thing. Have it to where, there's a multiple choice type thing, then the machine can grade it for you. It kind of looks like if you miss a step somewhere, but get feedback. You know, you did not get the right cause error, and then having all of that gives them feedback, so it can be remedial.
So you're saying we would have
Scroll down to where it says
okay.
if you've already created one, then
You just build.
build test.
Okay.
Would be the name of the test, and it's going to give you a box. Instruction. Okay.
In this course tools. Got an error for some reason, but what you're saying is we make a small quiz or of that project. Okay.
And feedback and all that sort of thing. Once
Just I think
what's that?
I believe you. I think I'm just overloading my browser here with.
To the test canvas.
Questions,
It's
multiple
got all
choice.
kinds of different steps in the right sequence or something, you know?
Okay.
If you're talking a process. As you scroll down. Yeah. Now, this gives you 3, whatever, however you want the answers. Yeah. Answers instead of just 3 or whatever.
Yeah, I put in
Okay.
select the right answer as far. So what you're saying this would do is basically build a quiz later on in the content.
Whatever it is back there on the left-hand side on the nav. You know, whatever lesson it is, 1, 2, 3. If you click select one of your content areas.
Okay. So this is the content in lesson 1.
Assessments.
Go to assessments. Existing test.
Select the one you want, yep. That section 1 area.
Okay.
Now we should be able to go back to underneath where you were selecting that test. It says make available. That creates the test.
Okay. If we don't have Adobe can Captivate, if we don't have some sort of evaluation of the process. Go through the steps and then answer the questions to that test. Let me see if we got any questions from. Okay, no questions from Mr. McGinley. So
There was a question from Bob.
faster than what we had imagined. The topic today was something I had actually scheduled that we discuss on Thursday.
I'll show you this course I'm working on. To-do list, and just stick a little picture. download a PDF file for the reading. Some questions based on that reading and have them put an answer in. And this is actually a YouTube video that I've loaded. And I would teach the students during orientation that if actually happening on the other screen, but it brings up the when you when you click mashups, you can put in a flicker.
You'll go out and search it for you.
You can preview it if you want, or you can just select it.
Okay.
And it gives
Then it appears within that content.
yeah.
Okay.
How easy it is, and like I say, it gives us a particular name, and then you can just load it in there, and then on there, so they could do that, and then just resume it, so on. And just as easily, it's gone.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. It seems like we are continually working through each one of these categories, and we keep coming back to the same two answers.
Yeah, Adobe Captivate is a product. There's an Adobe Presenter is another product. It depends on what you have and whether or not you're going to spend any money to do any of that.
Okay.
So you could actually record the, you know. Speaking of script.
To use them as
Yeah.